Hey, what is up guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be talking about Dying Light 2. Now, as we all know, E3 starts next month on 11 June, and since Techland is bringing Dying Light 2 at E3, we all know we will be getting some new gameplay footage and some more information on Dying Light 2. So I thought before we can get some new footage or information, I should make a video where I'm going to be talking about everything we know so far about Dying Light 2. So this video is going to be kind of like a recap. So at E3 2018, which was last year, we all learned that it's been 15 years since the fall, meaning it's been 15 years since the fall of Haran and the countryside happened. And now the people who have survived are living off what's left. That simply means limited resources, and trust me, this idea actually works with the modern Dark Ages theme that the company is bringing with Dying Light 2. And in the modern Dark Ages, you'll face a brutal, bleak, and unforgiving reality where you are as likely to perish at the hands of a human as you are by the bite of the infected. And in Dying Light 2, your choices actually have consequences. The in-game behavior of survivors, different factions, and the look of the whole world can change depending on your choices. Some choices are permanent and some are temporary, so it depends. The game has different factions like Peacekeepers, Scavengers, Untamed factions, also known as the Wildcard faction. They're actually small in group and differ in different regions. So every region is going to have different factions. And here are some information about these factions. The Peacekeepers like to keep law and order in the city, and if you choose to work with them, you will have to follow all their orders like killing the zombies, developing the city, and if someone breaks the law, the Peacekeepers actually have some serious punishment for them. You might have already seen that in the E3 gameplay. The other faction, Scavengers, are those guys who love exploring the city. They like to travel, and for traveling you need a car or a vehicle. So if you side with Scavengers, you will actually get a vehicle to drive around and explore. You will also be helping Scavengers to kill zombies, build bridges, develop the areas, and also collect resources for them as well as for your camp. The final faction that we know of is the Untamed factions, also known as the Wildcard factions. These factions are actually a small group of people who grow plants to create drugs that when consumed have different effects on your body, like making you really powerful, giving you extra stamina and other stuff. But that's not it. There will be other drugs too. If you think you are the only one that has access to these drugs, you are wrong. Because when you side with the Wildcard factions, everyone in the city will have access to these drugs, meaning you will be facing someone as strong as yourself. Now for these factions, Techland actually shared an example image where they showed what will happen if these factions come across these abandoned swimming pools. So the Peacekeepers will make this swimming pool into a training room, and the Scavengers will grow plants in the swimming pool to create fuel, and finally the Untamed Wildcard faction, they will actually grow plants to create drugs. Now the devs have only shared info about these three factions, and according to Techland, the game has more factions, some small, some big, so maybe in future with the new gameplay we will see and we will be introduced to new factions in the game. Also, Dying Light 2 is set in a fictional European metropolis, once prosperous, but now it's the last human settlement left. The place is actually called the city, and no other name was provided. It was just called a city. The city is actually 4 times bigger than the base game. So if you have played the first Dying Light, slums and old town included, if you merge slums and old town map and make it 4 times, that is the size of Dying Light 2. That is actually huge since it's going to be a base game. And according to Timon Smectala, the lead game designer at Techland, the game is going to have a lot of replayability. It will take you multiple playthroughs to experience all the content this game has to offer. The main reason behind this is your choices and consequences thing. Once you're done with the game, you will have to replay the game with different choices this time, because you will actually see different things. You will come across different stuff, different activities, different people, different weapons, outfits, and stuff. So you'll have to play it again. And this actually goes multiple times before all the endings and choices are over. And obviously, yes, the game is going to have multiple endings. That just makes sense. Also, the way co-op works in this game is actually amazing. Now you know the co-op is back and you're going to have 4 people joining the lobby, but there's a problem here, right? Since your choices have consequences on everything, including the whole world and people, your game based on your choices will look different from your friends, and his might look different from someone else's. So, you might be wondering, how will we able to play when we all have different choices, different worlds, different places? How are we going to play together? Well, the answer is really simple. The person who creates the lobby keeps his world, his choices, and consequences. So if I team up with peacekeepers and my friend teams up with the scavengers, and now he joins me, well, he's gonna see my world and he's gonna do missions for the peacekeepers. He's gonna do everything I have been doing in the game. So, in short, the creator of the lobby has the power, and he's the one who's actually gonna get his map and his choices shown in the lobby. Also, the devs have not revealed anything related to multiplayer or PvP, so literally we have zero info about multiplayer or PvP. We don't know if Be the Zombie is coming back or not. Maybe it will, maybe it will not. We don't know, so zero information at the moment. So maybe in future we will be getting some information about this PvP thing. Also, this time Dying Light 2 has doubled the parkour moves, and some of the moves like hanging on the tree consumes stamina. You will also be able to whistle to cause a distraction. And since Chris Avlon is working with Techland to create the world of Dying Light 2 and define the modern Dark Ages theme with the factions idea, the game is going to be amazing, and the storyline is definitely going to be brilliant. Also, Dying Light 2 crafting system is also expanded, and according to the info, we have over 50 new combinations, meaning 50 new blueprints to modify your weapons. And these are going to be some new thingy, not old stuff. So during an E3 press event, the demo gameplay showed that the main character could pick up items from the ground, like a bucket, a rock, or anything, and he can actually throw that at the enemy to cause distraction. And in the gameplay, we saw the main character picking up the bucket, and then he throws the bucket at the enemy, which later hits the enemy head, and the main character gets the opportunity to throw the guy off the roof. So, which is an interesting thing, and now you can pick stuff from the ground, anything. Also, if you have seen the gameplay footage of Dying Light 2, you might have already heard about the black market. And if you don't know what the black market is, let me tell you what it is. So the black market is a place where you can sell your weapons, your weapon blueprints, drugs, or other items. Black market is mainly going to be like a store, but this store is going to be really expensive because you will have to side with a particular faction to unlock this feature. You will be able to get stuff like weapons and everything in the whole map itself. You'll be able to craft them, but if you want really OP stuff, like really strong weapons, you will have to go there in the black market to get it. But remember, if you have access to black market, remember there is going to be a lot of bad people who's going to visit that place, because black market is simply going to invite those people. One thing that was never mentioned before about Dying Light 2 was that this time the developers are actually implementing the stealth system. So this time the stealth is actually going to be playing an important role in Dying Light 2. You can actually hide in bushes and inside trash bins, so it's going to be crazy, and it will be interesting to see how this stealth thing actually plays out, because I definitely love when I do the stealth thing. Also, Dying Light 2 this time will have more quarantine zones and military zones. Different zones are going to be for different resources, and remember, you're not the only one out there looking for resources in these zones. There are actually bandits and other survivors who will be chasing you or will try to get these resources before you. So, imagine you are going in a place and trying to get yourself resources. So in most of the cases, you'll have to watch out for the zombies, because these zombies actually are hibernating inside these zones and abandoned buildings. At the same time, you'll have to watch out for the bandits. So you have to fight bandits or take them out quietly. It's your choice. So during an E3 press event, a gameplay footage was shown where we saw the main character entering one of these military zones, and there he saw these bandits entering the zone. And obviously these guys were armed, so the character couldn't just take him out easily. So what was interesting here is that these bandits actually realized that the place was already looted, and now they were looking for us. So they were looking for the main character. So while exiting, our main character actually made some noise by mistake, which led to this fight between the main character and the bandits. And since our character was able to take out a lot of them, All of a sudden, one of the bandits actually made a noise that actually sounded like a signal call, and then within a minute, there were more bandits in that place. More bandits show up. So it was kind of like bandits can actually call for backup, and they do show up. So you will have to watch out for that. If you take them silently, it's gonna be good. But if you make noise, you try to use fire guns or firearms to just kill them, well, they're gonna call for backup. At the same time, watch out because you are making noise, and it doesn't matter if you make noise or the bandits make noise, the zombies will also come out of buildings and will try to kill you. So you might want to watch out for that. So that footage was actually really interesting, but it never came out in public, so that's really bad. But maybe in future we'll see it. Now, how can we not talk about zombies when we're talking about Dying Light 2? Since we all never saw a nighttime or zombie gameplay, we all have been asking the same question: where are all the zombies? So an article from GameStarter gave us the first look at the zombie from Dying Light 2. And the article also gave us some information about the zombie cycle. So the infected life starts as a viral, which is someone who just got bitten and just got infected. He will still show traces of humanity, something we have seen in Dying Light before. Also, at this point, they are very quick and dangerous. They also avoid sun at all cost. But after some time in that state, they will actually turn into a biter who are regular zombies. They move slowly and they can grab you, eat you, or infect you. And sunlight is also really dangerous for them. If a biter stay in the sunlight for a really long time or under a UV light, they actually turn into what the game calls degenerates. Now these are the decaying zombies that are very weak with pieces of flesh falling off them. They're not really that dangerous, but still you might want to watch out because they are still zombies. The developers have also confirmed that a lot of zombies from the main Dying Light will return in Dying Light 2. Also, some of them will be mutated, and the volatiles will actually have different zombie cycle in Dying Light 2, a different evolution path. So that means in Dying Light 2, we are most likely going to see a new mutated volatile. So now let's talk about some of the short info and confirmation we got from Techland. So as we all know, grappling hook is going to make a return in Dying Light 2, and some of the information that we got recently from a lot of articles was like Dying Light 2 developers have confirmed that they're actually been working with the new RTX cards to create ray tracing in Dying Light 2. In an interview, one of the developers said that the game is most likely going to have a cross-generation support, meaning the game is going to be released for PS4, PS4 Pro, Xbox One, Xbox One X, and PC. Also, the PS5 and Xbox Scarlet is actually being rumored, but that can actually happen. So it's not like Xbox or PS4 will be cancelled. No, you will be getting Dying Light 2 on all the platforms. That's the meaning of cross-generation support. The devs have said that they actually want to create a game that will support all platforms and will also support different graphic settings. So your PC version of Dying Light 2 can look way better when compared with PS4 or PS4 Pro. It actually depends on your specs. So if you have really good specs, you will see the difference. Also, I will be making a different video covering this new topic because there is a lot to talk about, and I can't talk about all of that in this video because there is a lot of information, a lot of research I need to do on that thing. So guys, hope you guys got updated with every info, and as I promised you guys, I'm actually going to be showing you guys a video or something on my channel really soon. It's not going to happen this month, it's going to happen next month. So yeah, it is interesting and it is related to Dying Light 2, so make sure you guys watch out for that. And I'm sure you guys are going to love it because I'm really hyped for it. I'm actually trying my best to make something possible, and if everything goes well, it's gonna happen and you guys will see something really cool next month. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.